Hello, hello there. And we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen, you see people. The Dal and Claude Show. And you know what, yeah, people, yeah. See, we're back. We're back. We're back, man. We're back. We're one of my favorite crime people. Oregon, Gunnar, Dallas Tracy. My brother, talk to these people. How you doing, bro?
Doing great. Doing great. Happy Monday. Got plenty of rest this morning. Been working away. Got my little Starbucks to kick off the day. But other than that, man, we're top of the league. Can't complain. Can't complain right now. Even though we got some injury issues, but I know we'll dive into that. And big up everyone in the chat who's just tuning in. And big up Tony, my brother.
What's I mean, it's like about 9:30 in my time, PM, 9 in the night. But you know what? What I was just really hoping about today, yeah, was that today I was gonna see Oregon good, and me and him were gonna gloat about being tabletop. See, you know what? Yeah, I mean, put all those things aside. See, Oregon good. Arsenal is top of the league, my brother.
Well, I mean, it's been an interesting few weeks. You know, I mean, let's look at the. But we've only had 2 goals scored against us, bro. 2 goals scored against us all season so far. That's phenomenal.
And just one.
And just one. Yeah. So that's fantastic defensive effort from Gabriel Saliba and of course Calafiore, the wild Pearl Jam 1996 looking horse stallion, fresh prince. You know, gallivanting, you know, with the ball and then losing the ball several times. But I know we'll talk a little bit about him as well. But other than that, Tony, I got to say, this is where we need to be. The football could be a bit better. It was a bit boring Saturday at times, I must admit, but we got the job done. And West Ham has been a bogey team for us the last 2 or 3 seasons. We have lost to them twice, I think last season, both times, if I remember correctly. Other than that, man, I got to say, blessings to Odegaard. I hope he heals up. But it was Zubamendi that played the balls for those goals, played the ball for the goal and the penalty. It was Zubamendi taking control, playing the ball on the carpet. You know, we talked before of you know, Eze on the left in midfield, Rice and Zubamendi on that right midfield position. Not really the box to box, but just to solidify that midfield area, play the ball on the ground, and just get Goikarez some service and Saka some service on that right side. I'm thinking more and more. I think Odegaard is a little more aggressive. We've seen him, you know, come on in the last game. If that was, I don't recall, but Olympiacos, he came out and changed the game, right? And I think that the intent from Odegaard was there on Saturday, but you know, he's fragile, bro. And I still maintain the fact that he's not built for this league. As much as I rate his technical ability and so forth, and I know he's a decent footballer, but I think we need a little more. And I'm not trying to slam the guy, right? It's nothing, right? It's not personal against Odegaard. He is not a Premier League player. He needs to do his business in the German league or the Italian league, or maybe even the Spanish league again. But I think the Prem is a bit much for him physical-wise. And what's the use of paying somebody almost $200,000 a week if they're going to be on the bench every few months? You know, I think we need to really look at this player. But other than that,
wait. Oregon, great. I mean, you just open a can of worms down there, about Odegaard. Yeah, I mean, let's dive into it. Yeah, let's dive into it. Odegaard has been in and out this season came back, got injured again. I mean, in 3 consecutive matches. I mean, that's a Premier League record,
Right.
by the way. The first player to be, I mean, back to back in 3 games. Big up to Baggers, who just walked in. How you doing? And of course, your friend Dal is also down here. And we're also looking at the injury to Martin Odegaard. Yeah. To what extent? Is it just an Odegaard thing, or would you say the manager has actually done his best in actually managing the situation? What do you think by that? Because someone should be culpable for. I mean,
well, there's a few things to that. You know, when your captain says he's okay and he gets the doctor's clearance, your captain's going to play. Right, number one. So, I mean, it was unlucky with the shoulder, and then he hurt it again at Brentford. I think it was Brentford. Or was it Forest? I think it was Forest.
It was Forest. It was Forest.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Forest. Right. I think Elliot went in there and he flipped over and hit his shoulder again. That is not the manager. The manager can't control that, bro. Right? He can't control Odegaard, doing this thing and then getting wiped out. And talk about a bit is the times that Arteta's followed this pattern of playing Saka injured, Rice injured, Timber injured, Saliba injured, Havertz injured, right? They've all had these nagging injuries that have lingered for, quite some time, but the manager still pushes them out. There's times Kieran Tierney got injured. Remember before he left, and Arteta picked him up and pushed him back out on the pitch.
Pushed him back in, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, so in that essence, I don't blame Arteta. It's not his fault that his ankle got cracked, whatever happened with him, or his knee. And it's not his fault that he hurt his shoulder at international play and then it hurt it again with Forest. But there is a pattern with this manager of pushing these players to the absolute limits of what they're, Rice having a broken toe and still playing. We've heard almost being injured for pretty much 18 months straight. And the thing with Saka overplaying, that injury finally came, and he was out, I believe, half the season last season. So yeah, it's what I think the training is extremely intense at times. But my point is that I was talking with our pal Jez yesterday for a good hour.
Jez,
some of it is the real one. Yeah, Jez, my guy. And that comes with the press, right? We do the pressing, Tony, and you saw Gyökeres on Saturday running around, exhausting his energy, chasing the ball. Do we need to press West Ham, bro? Do we need to press Forest? Do we need to press, the likes of coming up, Wolves and Burnley, etc.? No, you need to press Liverpool, right? Palace. Those are the teams we need to press to get that upper hand, hopefully get the ball, pass it a couple times, and then put it in the back of the net. What I saw Saturday was Gyökeres literally running around, exhausting himself, not getting anything out of the production of pressing, Tony. And it's West freaking Ham, bro. Like, they're not deadly. Like, they're going to play long.
I'll stop you there just a little bit, just to give you a little bit of some perspective. West Ham has been a bogey team of ours, man. Two back-to-back, probably maybe losses at home. I mean, they've taken points from us at home. Yeah, in this same phase. So if Gyökeres is actually exerting his energy to try and run up for the game, do you think it's something crazy? I mean, West Ham have taken points away from us. They will.
They are absolute dog shit this season. And shout out Hammers TV and Tone and all that. I'm not, Ezo. I'm not trying to, slam anyone's team, right? I'm not trying to do that. But I think we need to have perspective on who we're going against week in and week out. You know, you need to press those center backs so much up the pitch that when we retrieve the ball, Gyökeres can't make the run because he's already stuck or he's offsides and he's exerted his energy. You know, and I think that is what is conducive. Gyökeres, we know, is not injured, but I think it perpetuates this style of pressing in football that can be detrimental in the long run. You know, you have to press City, right? You have to be on the front foot with Liverpool. You have to be on the front foot with United, even though they're crap as well, and Chelsea as well, right? All the rival type teams in the Big Six, we have to play the best games we can play, and we got to do that against everybody. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, let's have some perspective. What are West Ham good at? Lobbing the ball to Bowen, right? That's what works for them. They rarely play it through the midfield. They don't play it much throughout the back. And if they do, they don't know how to execute doing that. And running around and passing. But at the end of the day, the ball always ends up with Bowen trying to make something happen. Right? You've watched football enough. No, you know these teams and who their top players are. Right? And if Bowen can't...
Sure.
The West Ham ain't winning nothing, bro. I mean, that's just the perspective, I think, is that the manager maybe needs to look in the mirror a little bit more and really look at who we're facing on the day and say, you know, maybe we don't need to press as much, right? Maybe we can hold back, let them make that mistake, and we can counter a little bit more instead of having Gyökeres exhaust himself over and over and over.
Big up and
you know, I just, you know, that's my opinion, is we really need to look at who we're going against. You know what I mean? No reason to press West Ham, you know, for 75 minutes straight. Yes, they'll make a mistake, but let them play a bit, make the heavy touch, get the ball and hit him on the counter, and then Gyökeres is ready. Then Gyökeres can run the channel, right? The ball can be played through by Zubamendi, Rice, etc. You know, and Eze can make a run on the left side if he's on the left 10. You know, that's just my real thoughts on it. And again, that kind of leads into the injuries a bit, right? Because it's energy. It's executed energy. And then when you don't have that to keep going, that's when I think...
I mean, I hear you, but again, we need to also check up what happened in that matchup against West Ham. Going into that matchup, West Ham is the worst team in the Premier League defensively. I mean, before that matchup, they've considered about 14 goals already. They've defensively, they're poor. I mean, that defense, starting with Kilman and Mavropanos, very, very porous defense. And again, when you add Dwarf to the equation, it's totally porous. But when they came to the Emirates just this weekend, this past weekend, they played 4 at the back.
Right.
They played 4 at the back. They made it more compact for us. It was a bit literally give attacking wise, but they just, you know, made it a little bit more compact at the back. And at this point, you just want to see 2 points in it. So, can you tell us how you saw that game against West Ham? What really happened for you? You know, what turned the game on its head and gave Arsenal the
game on its head was the inclusion of Zubamendi, right? As much as the jury's still
11.
Correct. Came on for Odegaard injured. I forget the game. To me, the jury's still out on Zubamendi. I see the good and the bad. But again, he was the catalyst for the 2 goals, right? He played the ball through. We got the first goal, and then he played one over the top where Saka got the penalty. You know, he played the ball through. It bounced around. Declan Rice got it right, and then slotted in right in the top bin. So, you know, it wasn't like he just the ball over the top. It was brilliant. Saka got the pen, and we got the 3 points. But you're right. There was times there was a lull in the game. You know, I was up at 6:45 in the morning to watch the game. But you know, I kind of dozed off towards the end of the first half because again, West Ham was, you know, and even Eze found it kind of hard. You know, Saka was doing Saka things, but to no real like end product.
Yeah, no
And then
end product.
Zubimendi
Yeah.
opened him up, right? Rice got a great goal off the rebound, and he opened him up, and that's that's kind of just football 101. And like you said, West Ham doesn't have an attacking threat besides Bowen. They can bring in any striker they want. I mean, Folker, I think he touched the ball maybe 4 times. I mean, another got a yellow card.
But again, yeah, do you just really think that West Ham? Yeah, I mean, they didn't get onto the ball so much. And he was stopped on his track. Is it that Arsenal is just too good? That this teams can't just can't just play when they get to set up against us. They have to constantly get backs. I mean, when you look at that game against West Ham, man, they were so poor. They couldn't get anything up front. Is it that Arsenal was just too good for them, or like where do you pitch your attention on that one? And big up to idea.
I think it's a little bit of both, right? West Ham, like you said earlier, are absolutely awful right now, and we're on a flyer. Again, we've only conceded 2 goals, bro, which is phenomenal, right? That's for that all day long. But where was this against Liverpool? Right? Where was this against Newcastle?
That was Anfield.
Right. But we got to take that. But they didn't score till like the 85th minute, right? With a worldie from Soboslai, which was a great goal. I would have loved to score that goal. We would have loved that too as well. But again, it was away at Anfield. Go get a goal early. Attack early. If it goes 1-0 in the 25th, 30th minute, that's fine. Fight back. There was no fight at Liverpool, right? And I think that was kind of the turning point as well.
Yeah.
We got the 3 points against Newcastle, which wasn't an easy game, but we actually played decent football. We're up for the fight. A great 2-1 comeback. Gabriel with the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, but there was times that the attacking impetus just isn't there. And if it's Forest, we've got 31 more games to play, Tony. We're in week 7. So the tenant needs to decide, like I was saying, each seems to be what's one? Uh-oh. And sorry, I was reading the chat there. We got to decide week in and week out how we're going to approach. Again, there's no reason to fully press West Ham. They're going to have heavy touches. They're going to make mistakes, and we can hit them on the counter, right? And the same with what we did with kind of Forest, right? You got to press them a little bit because they have a little more threat in the midfield. But to be honest, I think when you put 2 and 2 together, we are a very, very good side that has good a lot, right? I mean, yeah, I mean,
a whole lot. I mean, I'm up against this same team last season, man. Shocking. I mean, nearly up to 6 of the players that were on the bench on the day against West Ham have already been transferred out of Arsenal.
Right.
It's God leaves the field and Zubimendi replaces it. I mean, for me, that's quality. That's quality off the bench.
And it could have been one area. It could have been one area as well, right? We know we wait Ethan.
One area.
I think, but Zubimendi's one level above one area. He's older. He's more experienced. He's in the Spanish national team, right? I mean, all those things play into your career. Is Zubimendi better than one area? Maybe, but we won't know because the game's done and over, and Zubimendi was again the catalyst for us getting the 3 points.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. What's your criticism of that you think maybe, just maybe, is not just the complete midfielder for Arsenal? For me, I think he's a decent player, but I don't know where your head is in, for him right now, because I mean, you just told us, yeah. You just told you told me that. Still looking at him. Like, what are you still looking at? I mean, so many Arsenal fans are already sold on him. Why aren't you sold on Zubimendi just yet?
Well, I think a lot of it is the physical capability, right? The physicalness of his game. He's not Tom Archer, not as strong, probably maybe just as good on the ball, right? We rated Thomas Partey a lot because he was able to break into tackles, break up play, play a good through ball, at least get the attack running as soon as we retrieve the ball. Zubimendi can do that, but we saw him push to the ground athletic ability.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right? Yeah, and so that's my biggest kind of fear is that he will get overrun, and we've seen that happen. Right? But we got to also remember it's 7 weeks into the season, and this guy is very, very good. If he wasn't that good, bro, he wouldn't be scoring goals for the Spanish national team. I think he's going to come. And he can place a pass and he can break up play, but I think the physical side at times could cost us. And it almost cost us against Liverpool. I don't remember who fouled who for Szoboszlai to get that goal, but if I think back, I think it was Zubimendi who fouled someone. He found someone, and that's how they scored.
Yeah, that's how they scored.
But but overall, I rate him. I mean, I think it'd be foolish not to, right? Because he was sought after by City, right? He was sought after, I believe, by Liverpool, right? He turned Liverpool down last season as well, right? So if he's that sought after, like, there's got to be something there, right? But I think at this, I think the jury's still a bit out for me. But I'm about 80% there. I'm about 80% confident that he can really have an impact. So, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he still needs to play a few more games, 7 weeks in the season.
Okay. Let's look into Rice just a little bit. Yeah. I mean, he started in that number 6 position, yeah. Used as a defensive midfielder. What was really the difference with him playing in that number 6? And do you think Mikel Arteta should definitely be looking at switching on the bench at times? I mean, is it something that tickles your fancy in any way?
Yeah, I think so. I think he helps solidify the back four a bit. Every time, we can use the example of West Ham or even Newcastle, every time they were kicking it out, clearing it from their half, at the halfway line, there's Rice to retrieve the ball and put it back into play, right? So that kind of helps Gabriel and Saliba not having to do that. I think that Rice brings the engine. I think he's, captain material. Hey, big up Anthony Herbert, my hero.
Yeah.
I think, he is the backbone. My guy. I think him, Gabriel, and Saliba are the backbone of the squad. Find him in the 6. But I want to see Eze on the right, maybe Zubimendi on the left. I think that's the thing. We can mix up that combination play a bit, right? We can put Zubimendi and Rice, as the double pivot or whatever. I just call them the standard CDMs, right? I don't really call them the double pivot. But if we need to go into that formation defensively, that works. But I think without Rice, if he gets injured, we will not win the league. If Rice is out for a long period of time, we won't win the league because he is the engine that keeps the shit moving, bro. And we see it time after time. He scored a great goal against West Ham. He was there at the right place, right time. And then he's also helped solidify that back four and retrieves the ball at the halfway line, so we keep the opposition pressed in their own half. Waffle Dawn in the building, my guy Abs. So that's I truly believe if he gets injured, bro, we will have troubles for the rest of the season. Because Zubimendi's decent right now, like we were saying, but he's not the engine that Rice is. He's not physical enough. He's not, he's just not that guy right now. and I think the potential is there, but we still need to see it. We need to see a full season what Zubamendi brings. But Rice right now for me has been phenomenal. Every game, maybe not man of the match every game, but pretty damn close. Even on West Ham, I can still give Timber my man of the match, but Rice is just slightly under there, man, because he's what's keeping things, I think, together a lot of the times in midfield.
Yeah, and how about his goal, man? I mean, just got that pass, he just slotted it in, +4 to score you goals and help out your team. I mean, what do you think about that goal, man? I mean, and this is happening when a certain player that was bought for $140 million dollars is actually looking for air, gasping for air somewhere in Liverpool, in the Messi side, red side of to score goals. Trying, and trying, but nothing seems to be working. But we have our own 100 million, player scoring goals for us and helping out the team. It's been nice.
Yeah. Got us to the Champions League semi-final last year, and that's the thing, and it kind of leads in still to the Odegaard situation. I just don't think, I think Rice and Odegaard is good together at times, but we need more from this Odegaard guy. And it's unfortunate that he's injured again. That's just the way it goes. But I don't blame Arteta for the injuries. It's not his fault that his knee got crocked. It's not his fault that he hurt his shoulder. Right, but Zubamendi's kind of right. Maybe there's a little more subtlety to it. Maybe there's a little more, caution. Right.
Yeah. But anyway, see, I was telling these people, just last weekend back. I mean, there's something special brewing in this team this year. I mean, some were questioning me, they're like questioning me in this space, and I get it, because I've been saying something for 3 seasons and it never materialized, but there's just something different about the season. More because of the signing that Andre Berta actually orchestrated in the summer. I don't know. Right now, do you think that Arsenal is in the driving seat in the league right now on the line? Are you going to stick your neck on the line? I don't want you to read my role, through the question. Just tell.
Long pause. No. I gotta go no. I gotta say no. Because we're in a pattern of finishing in second. I still think, to be honest, I think City could finish first. And I know they're a bit behind us in points, but Haaland scored 12 goals now out of 9 games. He's lost weight. He looks like he's really the killer that he's been. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. They go on a run, bro, of 4 or 5 games of winning. It's going to be peak, and it's going to be hard for us to catch them. I do think Liverpool will drop more points, though, because I don't think it's gelling right now.
So Oregon going to force. Wait. So now it's no more Liverpool. No, wait. This narrative, come on, man. So now it's no more Liverpool. That's the most complete team right now. Oregon gonna come on, man. Put some perspective to this, bro. Put some perspective.
My perspective is this: Pep won it 3 years in a row. We came in second 3 years in a row. Liverpool won the canter last season, right? 8 or 10 points, right? We have been in that situation since 22-23. Right? If we could stay on top,
I hear you, but we didn't have the kind of squad depth that we have now.
right,
The squad depth is good.
it's better.
Even you have said it.
I have.
It's better.
I have
Yeah.
confidence that we will have a good run of games. We will have a good run of form. But Tony, after following this club almost 30 years now, bro.
Okay,
You know, right? So to think that all of a sudden that we have these new signings and it's the first year they play together, we're going to be lifting the Premier League trophy, I think is a little bit naive, to be honest. But again, come March or April, if we're up by like 8, 9, 7 points, then yeah, my confidence in April, right? That's where the rubber hits the road, Tony, and we have failed. We have failed in those months, and I challenge you to think about that, bro. The chat. I know my man Anthony Herbert believes what I'm saying. I know Assemble and Acers know what I'm saying. I think the audio is a little choppy today, but with that said, Tony, I'm not going to put my neck out on the line. Do and maybe buy someone in January. I don't, we can't predict who or when or what, but if they make a couple of small signings to enhance and reinforce their squad, and they make a run, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to stop them. That's my only thing. I still think City are much in this, but I think they're in 5th place right now behind us by 3 points. Right?
But again, but do you really think that Man City have the squad to actually?
Yes.
Do they have the squad depth to actually win the league this season, man?
Absolutely.
Do they really have it?
Yes. If they get back
to they really have it?
Season before,
I mean, when you look at Turkey, when you look at all these new guys that they have down there, Nori and all these guys here,
right.
Do you think those guys are enough for them in terms of depth to be able to win the title for them this
That's
season?
A good question.
They're going to be stretched. They're playing the Champions League. They're going to play the FA Cup. They're going to be stretched.
They are going to be stretched, and so are we. What if Rice gets injured in the FA Cup? Season's done. Season is done. Right.
No, come again. Who did you say?
Right. If definitely. So we have FA Cups too, Tony. Like you said, City's will be stretched. We're going to be stretched too. Right. If we have FA Cups, Carabao Cups, Champions League, if Rice gets injured in an FA Cup game against, let's say, I don't know, Burnley or somebody who play, whatever team you want to throw in there. If Rice gets injured, our season is done. It's done because there's no one.
How? We have Northgard. We have Northgard.
We do, and that's going to be up to the
manager. We have Marino to come in and play.
Stop it
in his position.
Exactly.
No, Oregon, Marino bailed you out just a couple of weeks ago against Newcastle, and now you're going to throw dust on his name
because he's crap. I don't rate Marino.
All right.
I've killed the show. Listen to me. If City get their injuries in order, we have not seen the best of Cherki yet. We know he's a top midfielder, French international, right? If he gets going, it's peak, bro. If Reindeers gets going, Rylanders gets going, it's going to be peak. These are midfielders that can score goals, right? Just like Rice can score some goals. Zubamendi with a couple of great goals, right, in Champions League. So if those things happen and even out, are you gonna if our midfielders and scoring, Tony? Let me ask you. Let me throw it back to you. If our midfielders and their midfielders even out scoring, who's it come down to? It comes down to strikers. And don't even give me the thing about Gyökeres yet, because he hasn't scored 12 goals in 9 games. He's lost weight. They're mad about last season. They're mad about the season before. Or no, they won it the season before. They're mad about last season when their form completely dropped off. And we couldn't capitalize on it then. right?
Yeah, but again, Oregon, that was because we didn't have what we have now. And again, but again, this is the bit of this is the place where I have an issue with.
Sure.
Last season, 2 seasons ago, we never had a prolific striker who could help us score goals. Now we brought in that Olympiacos matchup. It looked drab in a way, innit? But the thing there was that Odegaard was able to find it a couple of times in the first half. The same thing happened too against West Ham too. They found him a couple of times in the first half, but in the second half, it's just kind of like, just off. But this is the problem I'm having right now, Victor Gyökeres. What do you think? What do you think is the problem? Why isn't this guy? Because we know it's in his wheelhouse to get goals. We know he's a goal poacher. We know we should start getting worried about Victor Gyökeres and his role in the team.
No, I don't think so. I think it just becomes more of a training thing of getting the ball to that striker, right? It's Perez really isn't the false nine that Jesus has been, or even Havertz at times. He is more front in the attack and more as a solid nine. But I'm not blaming Gyökeres really for anything. I think it's the service. And you and I talked about this at the beginning of the season, right after we signed him. He's a fantastic player, but how's he going to get the service? And this is where I get the ump with Arteta. If the Sporting Lisbon manager in midfield can figure it out, why can't we? Why can't we be the squad that gets him 92?
Well, again, I saw a couple of balls.
Yes.
I saw a couple of true balls get to him, and he didn't use it to do anything. I saw a couple of true balls sent to him. I mean, to be very chances after chances after chances, about 3 chances, and he blew everything. In that West Ham game, a couple of chances here and there, maybe not in the nature we would see it or would want it to be. I mean, when those kind of chances are rare to come by, if you're a goal poacher, you will use those chances and at least get something. And I mean, of all teams, I mean, West Ham.
Right. It's right. It was hard. We saw him one time get the ball. He's double teamed. It's kind of bouncing around. He doesn't have clear control of it. And that's a little bit of what even Jez and I talked about yesterday on his show. Is he working too hard? Right? And this goes right again with the pressing of West Ham. Do you need to press West Ham deep in their box? And the answer is no, because there's no real threat. Right? And so when he presses like that and we retrieve the ball, he's out of position. So by Arteta, right, telling him where to be, he's pointing and so forth. But it's also kind of on him. I don't think he's completely negated of any sort of commenting on or complaining about, essentially, is that when you get the ball at feet, do your thing, Gyökeres. Times I thought against West Ham, he was doing too much. He was trying to make too much happen. But I'll stay true to this. If Sporting Lisbon midfielders can get him the ball, in an area where he can attack and score goals, which we really did.
Yeah, why can't Arsenal get that,
right? Why can't our manager put the wheels in motion to make that sort of happen? But it is a tough one, right? He did look, a little off it, right? But I do also think that Desperov is freaking incredible Hulk looking, and that's great. I think that's fantastic for him. When you're doing your social media Instagram, right, at the swimming pool, But even look at Haaland has dropped weight. He looks slimmer. He looks faster. And we need someone who...
I know. I'm more dead.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I think if Gyökeres, again, he hasn't played that many games with us. He's trying to figure it out. And then the captain, Odegaard's out. Then it's Zubamendi. Now he's got to learn to work with Eze. But I truly believe once Eze and Gyökeres get cooking, those are going to have...
Okay. Okay. Now, yeah. When Kai Havertz came to this football club, yeah, everyone hated on him. Let's be frank, yeah. Many people did not even give him the light of day. Many people said 5 games if he doesn't perform, bye. I'm not getting at Gyökeres. I'm just asking the questions. I'm just the radio guy here. I'm playing Angel's advocate down here. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I think. Your turn when you're talking about Victor Gyökeres, and it's not the same term in any way with which you used to actually characterize Kai Havertz when he came to this football club. The time frame you gave Kai Havertz was so short for any player to actually say, oh, okay. I mean, there's lots of patience for Victor Gyökeres in terms of he hasn't hit the ground running.
Correct.
Yeah. There's so much patience than the patience that was given to Kai Havertz.
Well, I think because, number one, we bought a Chelsea leftover, number one. We purchased Chelsea garbage, right? I think anyone in the chat, if the audience clear, would agree with that.
I reckon, come on, man. Have some shame.
Well, it's true. We gave him a donation of 65 million and got a third in return, right? He wasn't scoring goals from open play at Chelsea. He wasn't scoring goals from open play at Arsenal. And Gyökeres has really kind of been doing that either, right? I get that. But Gyökeres has a pedigree of scoring. I'm talking 92 goals in 2 seasons. Now, if Kai Havertz had 92 goals in 2 seasons, then we would have some evidence to back that, oh, this guy is the 65 million foundation donation to take one of their, one of their players that never was really rated. And it was a surprise signing, right? That signing came out of nowhere, came out of the ether. We were looking at Gyökeres. We were asking for
I think Arden
we were like, what the hell is this?
I don't know if it's me or if it's Arden Gunner. But you were saying something.
Well, I'll tell you the difference between Havertz and Gyökeres. We didn't want the Chelsea reject, number one. We spent 65 mil on a player that was really, really mid and scored 1 Champions League final goal to lift the trophy. That's all well and dandy. But in hindsight, you look at January, February, March of 2024 when we went on that 31 goals scored and Tam 5-0. I think Crystal Palace we beat 3 or 4-0. We beat Fulham, I think 3-0. Right? We went on a real goal scoring. And he was very much a part of that. He was possibly even the top goal scorer at the time during that run of January 2024. However, we're a long way from January 2024. We don't look the side that we were in that run of games that pushed us again to second, right? We were still chasing City the whole time. Yeah, the only reason why I'm giving Gyökeres, and I think even some of us here in the chat and some of our community are giving him this much more positive performance, keep going, lad. You got the 14 shirt, blah, 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 blase, is because we've seen the fruits of his labor, what he did at Sporting. Where at Havertz, we're just like, Havertz was shit before he got here, so he's probably going to be shit with us. And there's times he had. The best goal that Havertz has scored, Tony, last season was against Bolton, where he actually got the ball and slammed it into the net, just come up his ankle, come up his shoulder, kind of dink his head scoring, and that's a whole other conversation, right? So I just
But the thing there is that Gyökeres isn't even scoring those kind of goals.
No,
I mean, it's one thing to critique those kind of goals, but he just played against the goal. He hardly touched the ball.
The goal he scored against Leeds, Tony. He got the ball on the left side, dribbled through two defenders, and smacked it near post. Right?
Yeah.
Havertz cannot and will not do that. And that's why we've been gassed up with great credit.
What I'm just saying is, or
in the back of the onion bag.
Do you think maybe it's this for strikers to actually progress? Because that's another way we could look at this, rather than pitching two of them together and saying, "Oh, you're better," "Oh, you're not better," "Oh, there's a lot of patience for you," "Oh, there wasn't a lot of patience for you." Do you think it's just the manager's approach to the game?
I think that's part of it.
That's really limiting us.
But I just don't think that the midfield and Gyökeres are in sync right now. I think there's just a little bit of miscommunication. Gyökeres looking for the ball. He's probably expecting the service that he got at Sporting Lisbon. And again, we're not able to provide that for whatever reason. And that's, again, on Arteta. If the Sporting Lisbon manager can figure it out, why can't Arteta? Why can't this guy get a goal a game? He almost West Ham. I mean, he slid in and the ball just got nicked away. He would have scored. He scored two goals against Leeds. They were great goals. The header, and again, the one that he took on the left side and just slammed it near post. And that's what we need him to do. But we got to put him in the position. I think it's just a little combination of everything, right? He's adjusting to our style of play. He's adjusting to the service or non-service. Excuse me. That he's either getting or not getting. Right? So it's still an adjustment period, just like Kai Havertz had adjustment period, and it took him a few months up to January of 2024 to really start firing on all cylinders. Which I think he scored in, four or five games in a row in that run of
definitely. Definitely. Look at the assemble. Look at what the assemble says here. It says Havertz isn't a solution. He is one of the standard bearers that Arsenal really should be bypassing by now. Do you agree with the assemble?
Havertz is one of the standard bearers also should really be. Yes, but I will say, I do want to see. I would like to see a formation of 4-4-1-1 with Havertz right behind Gyökeres. I think that'll cook. And I'm not saying Havertz, he's this and that, and but I still think
you're talking about flipping the whole system, man.
I love flipping the system a bit, right? A bit. Do you play a 4-4-2 with Havertz and Gyökeres up front? Because if one of those strikers comes off, you can always put Marino up there and then change the system or change the formation as well. But I think if Havertz gets back to being decent, but I do agree with the symbol. He's not really the standard bearer. But in the right setup, I think you can have some success there. And I think a 4-4-1-1 with Havertz behind him, filling that bit of a gap behind Gyökeres to be another service to him. To Gyökeres, Gyökeres taps it back. Havertz shoots outside the box. It's tricky, right? But I also feel like when Havertz comes back to full fitness, he will replace Gyökeres, and I don't put it past this manager to do that.
Kai Havertz is coming back after the international break.
Is he?
I mean, the house will get full, and there's also rumors that Madueke might also be coming back also after the international break. We have lots of attacking players coming back. So now, if Gyökeres doesn't score in the upcoming games, do you think Kai Havertz should have a chance? Should it be the perfect foil to come in and say, you know what, Gyökeres, let me show you how it's done? Do you think that's possible?
I'm just saying, man.
I'm just saying. Or should we just keep Havertz on the bench?
Yes. Yeah. Gyökeres needs. If you pull Gyökeres now, bro, there goes the confidence, right? If you pull Gyökeres now, the confidence is shot. And again, it's the curse of the Eddie Nketiah number 14 is what we're going to see.
But are we going to do it to the detriment of maybe a Kai Havertz coming on and scoring goals?
You're putting your eggs in that basket.
Are we gonna kind of like are we gonna like just try to give Gyökeres more confidence rather than winning games with Kai Havertz scoring goals? So are you ready to actually leave Gyökeres on the pitch without him getting goals, or do you think that it's okay we bring in a Kai Havertz who could actually score goals for us if that happened?
If you're saying if you're putting your eggs in the basket that Kai Havertz is going to score, you bring Kai Havertz on in the 75th minute, right? On a 1-1, 2-2, 0-0, fine. Because Gyökeres
he's not going to play in the 75th minute. You know that. You know Kai Havertz will literally start playing.
I don't know that because I don't know what this manager thinks week in and week out. I don't think that he was the catalyst of signing Gyökeres because I think Arteta already thinks he has a striker in Havertz and his backup striker Moreno, and then even Martinelli if he has to go there. For me, it's just there's no other place Havertz can play but striker, right? We don't want him at midfield. He can't play attacking mid. He's certainly not a CDM. He's certainly not a winger. He's isolated to being a striker, right? But Martinelli's better than him anyway. I would rather have Martinelli up front. If you're going to take Gyökeres, put Gyökeres on the bench, you might as well put my left winger, GM11, up front because he has the most goals right now in the squad. He's one of the finishers, remember? Arteta said at press conference, well, then I brought on the finishers. Why the fuck aren't they out there in the first place? We'd be pounding teams 3 or 4-0. Martinelli's fighting for his life, right? And if you put this kid's, Tony, you and I have been over this. Martinelli will score goals as a striker. He will score goals.
I think so too, bro. Right? I think so too.
In turn means he's better. In my opinion, and I hope I share this with our friends in the chat and yourself, that Martinelli will be more fruitful, as the way Assemble puts it, as the wearing the 11, as the number 9 out-and-out striker. Now, you can put Madueke on the left. You can put Eze on the left. Hell, you can put Trossard on the left. You can move Saka to the left and put Trossard on the right. You can put Saka on the left and put Madueke on the right. And these are good problems to have, right, when they're all fit.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that. But I'm just saying that Gabriel Martinelli is a better striker of the ball than Havertz. He's faster than Havertz. He's a senior player now, more than Havertz. Right? So if you really want to get dollars to donuts, Gabriel Martinelli should be the one replacing Gyökeres when it's not working out in the 70th minute or something. Right? Or start Martinelli on the left and give this kid more of a chance to work with Gyökeres, work with Eze as the left mid, or the right mid, right? If Rice is on the left, Zubamendi in the 6, Eze on the right. Let this guy cook. He's already, he's got the most goals in the squad. I think he's got 5 in all clubs. You know? So these are good problems to have, Tony.
I saw at the end, almost I think from the 75th minute in that game against West Ham, I saw was it the game against West Ham or the game against Olympiacos where Bukayo Saka actually moved down to the left and Eze moved down to the right? Which game was that?
I think that was Olympiacos. He moved Saka on the left, put Martinelli on the far right.
Would you like to see something like that happen more often?
Yes. Mix it up. This is what we've been asking for years now with this manager because it's so predictable. And this is why I go back. We ain't winning the league, bro, unless something really changes, right? Test the right back with Saka. Test the left back with Martinelli. Or even put Eze on the right. Again, these are good problems to have because the depth, the quality gap has really, really shrunk depth-wise. We can bring Eze off the bench We can bring Zubamendi off the bench. We can bring Martinelli off the bench. Trossard off the bench. Madueke off the bench. Well, before we were bringing on donkeys, and even going back to the defense, we were bringing
shocking
on
donkeys, man.
It was shocking, bro.
Mm.
We can bring Waneri on. We have to do a show about Waneri probably in the next couple of weeks because I don't see this manager giving this kid a chance.
Bro, what has Waneri done to this manager, man? I mean, he's not even getting a call up, bro. What is going on?
He should have started against Olympiacos. Well, did he start against Olympiacos? The game.
No, he didn't start.
I don't think he did. I don't think he started a game yet this season, has he? So
I think he started a game, but I think it's in the Carabao Cup. But I'm not sure.
So it looks like Assemble has a question here.
Yeah, it says Oregon, Havertz, Merino, and Gyökeres in this system. Who is better? They all look the same. Martinelli should have been put up top years ago. Yeah.
Facts. No, I would definitely rate Gyökeres over the other two. But I there's a part of me assembled that really wants to see Havertz and Gyökeres and see what they can do together. Not that I really rate them that much, but Moreno to me, oh man, I don't know. I mean, he's like good and bad, right?
Good. I don't know why you don't like Merino. I don't know why.
I don't.
What is it with Merino that makes you? I mean, you just scrub your nose. I mean, you don't like the guy.
I personally hate him. He's an asshole. No, I don't see what he brings, bro. I mean, I get it. He scored some goals last season.
But he was bailing out your team. He was bailing out your team in St. James Park. I mean, hate him or love him, yeah. I mean, he's got a couple of goals. He's scoring for Spain. Right. He's looking good. Mikel Arteta trusts him. The fan base doesn't really trust Merino. And I want to know why.
Because I've seen him play, bruv. It's mid. It's like, yeah, he'll have moments of making a nice pass, or maybe a cutting pass, or making a good run and getting a shot outside the box, or dinking a header, which is a great header, right, against Newcastle. So there's good and bad with him. But when it's bad, it's really bad. And when it's good, it's really good. There's no real middle with Moreno, and that's the problem I have. I want to see consistency. And he's the last person I'd put a striker, especially when you've got Martinelli, even Trossard up there. I don't want Trossard up front, right? If Martinelli's available, put him up front. Let him, dude, he has an eye for goal. He can turn. He can get the ball in the box and make a turn, which Kai Havertz can't really do. And we can see Gyökeres is kind of struggling at that as well. But again, I'm going back to give Gyökeres more confidence now because we have a history of what this guy can do. We've seen him play in Sporting in some way, shape, or form.
If Kai Havertz comes back to this team after the international break, do you think that in any way ups the ante in that striker role? Do you think he's a perfect foil for Victor Gyökeres? Does it spur Victor Gyökeres to say, hey, okay, now I have competition for places now. Kai is back and likely is the guy to replace me if I don't do well. What do you think about that? Is that what it is right now?
I hope so. There should be competition at every position. As much as I rate Gyökeres and a lot of our friends in our community do, I'm still club over player, bro. If he doesn't perform, something needs to change. But I think if you just replace Gyökeres with Havertz, you're going to get some of the same output. And that's why I've been wanting Martinelli up there, someone with more pace, someone with a little more particular eye for goal than Havertz. And again, a longer senior member of the squad that's more entrenched with what the style of play is, more entrenched of what Arteta's vision is and his tactical vision and so forth, right? And our complaints with Gabriel Martinelli have been that he plays too far out wide, his head down when he's dribbling. He's not putting the ball across the face of goal. He's not shooting from outside the box, right? We've really slammed this guy for the last 2 seasons. Let's be honest. We're ready to sell him. I was ready to sell him, right? And what did we sing 3 weeks ago? Redemption song, right?
Redemption song, and he started scoring goals.
Right? Because he's scoring goals and he's making us happy once again. But it's on Arteta to pick the best, right? And I'm sorry. Gyökeres striker, if it doesn't work out in the 70th minute or so, 75th minute, put Martinelli in that position. Let Havertz sit on the bench and wait, and he can wait. And then when we play someone of really no significance like Wolves or Burnley or somebody like that, maybe give Havertz a go. But I would not put Havertz out.
But again, he was your highest goal scoring attacker last season.
I don't care.
I mean, when you talk about him like that, I mean, bar Saka, I mean, when you talk about him like that, it's like, I don't know, it's just like kind of like relegate, like it's just like saying Kai Havertz doesn't have any role to play in this team, whether it comes back or not. Isn't he really a good problem to have? I'm not saying he should replace Gyökeres. I'm just saying he should also find game time. We need someone that would kick Gyökeres just a little bit. I mean, look at our defensive. Look at our defensive network here. Look at our defensive framework we have down there. If Saliba doesn't, if he doesn't shape up, we have Mosquera who could come in. Nkape is coming back after the international break. If he doesn't do well down there, come on, man. We have Nkape, and again, because of what he has done at Bayer Leverkusen, I trust his capabilities. We have Ricardo Calafiori that has regained that left back position. I mean, if he falls back, Maz Lewis-Kelly, and mind you, Maz Lewis-Kelly has gotten some, some game time this season. I mean, it looks okay. Yeah, if Ricardo Calafiori doesn't step up more, Lewis-Kelly is down there. So why don't we remove Martinelli out of the picture? Is a left winger for us. Why don't we want Kai Havertz to actually be that competition for Gyökeres in any way? Why must Gyökeres be in the combination? Why can't we just use Kai Havertz and say, hey, okay, Gyökeres sit down on the bench, Kai Havertz take that number 9 role, switch things up just a little bit, and if he scores goals, then maybe Gyökeres could be more potent and could be more clinical with his chances.
Well, that's in hindsight and looking at that deeper, we know that's going to happen, right? Arteta's going to fit Havertz in any way he can.
Yeah.
Right? So the competition for all the positions is good. Like we said before, I don't mind Lewis-Kelly being competitive against Calafiori, even though, like always, is saying he's not a left back, but he's playing there. The competition is good, and we didn't really have that the last few years, last 10, 12 years. I still say this is the best squad we've had in the last decade, bar none. Best squad we've had in the last 10 years for sure. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Offensively, midfield-wise, attacking-wise is going to be okay, I think. We will score goals this season. We are. Maybe not as many as we'd like, but we are winning 2-0, 3-0, etc. So Gyökeres is going to get his chance, Tony. I believe that. And I get what you're saying. I don't have the same energy against Gyökeres like I did against Havertz, right?
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You gave him like 5 games. I gave him like 10 games. You gave him like 5 games. Assembled gave him like only 2 games. Let's put some perspective to it. Assembled didn't even want to see him in the football, but he said it was going to be an outright flop. He gave him like 2 games. I gave him like 10. You gave him like 5.
Which I think I up to 10 after you're talking with you and Jez. But hey, the thing is that because you can go back and see a catalog of Gyökeres scoring goals. Again, Sporting Lisbon, I get that. Portuguese league, I get all that. Blah blah blah, right? but he has a catalog of scoring 92 goals in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz doesn't come near that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he won the Ballon d'Or for best striker, for fuck's sake. Right? Which people are like scratching their heads with.
But again, he has the chance to show it now. But again, he has the chance to show it now. And with impatience being in this fan base, even me too, I'm impatient. I want him to hit the ground running. I want him to score goals. That's what I want. And again, look, see, Oregon gonna just peep at Manchester United right now. Sesko, 2 back-to-back goals right now. I mean, it's clicking up there, innit? So, in all these hot spots down there, Ekitike hit the ground running. Sesko just got 2 back-to-back goals. I mean, sooner or later, and this is the trap Gyökeres is about to fall into. It's the same thing that happened at Liverpool. Yes. Liverpool weren't really crazy about the performances of Ritz. Yeah? It wasn't really under the microscope per se. Do you know why? Because they were winning games. So they didn't really care about, what was really going on. Because they were winning games. When they stopped winning games, the microscope became more centered on him, and it became glaring. People say you don't even want him in the team no more. It's the same thing that might literally see people. I like Gyökeres. I'm just asking this question because I'm with Oregon Gunner. I know what I think. I want Gyökeres to win, but we should be objective when looking at this issue. So now, when you turn that same microscope to Gyökeres, the only reason why we're not eating ourselves alive right now is because Gyökeres is with that team and they're winning games. The moment we start dropping more points, losing games, and not winning games, and it becomes more glaring that we need goals from our number 9 striker or our point man, and he's not getting it, there would literally be a big problem for Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Do you see it from that perspective? Use Liverpool as a smoke screen towards that.
Number one, you're not watching Uncle Rod's and some of our Liverpool friends like Don Hussam, who has been on Freudian Wirtz since day one. They have complained about this guy even when they won. Because he's not influential in these games at all. Win or lose, he's 009. No goals, no assists as an attacking midfielder in 9 games straight, even though they've won half of those, right? 6 or 7 of those. So, you want to go spend $140 million on Florian Wirtz, which they did. Be my guest. Be my guest, right? Beauty and the Beast settings. This is not, he is not that good. Right?
It's funny you saying this, but because you said that we should get him in the summer transfer window. I'm just throwing that bone out there, man. I'm just trying. You advocated for him. Suddenly you've done a 360. Oh my God! Suddenly a 360. Even the assemble, the same thing. He said, "Ritz, why we're not getting Ritz?" This is the answer, isn't it?
I never won't get him because no way in God's green earth are we going to spend $140 million on an attacking mid. Come on, bro. Don't put the words in my mouth. No. I really watched him anyway at Leverkusen or wherever the hell he's. Yeah, Leverkusen, right? I knew he was perform for Germany, right? And again, he's not gelling either. Just like Gyökeres isn't really gelling either. And I'll give you that point, but at least Gyökeres at least scored 3 or 4 goals now. Right, Wirtz is absolutely doing nothing. He's being overrun, can't pass the ball, can't find the open man. I mean, it's just not working at all, and that's why he's been dropped. He was dropped against Chelsea, right? So, and Wirtz is not our problem. Now, if he was out there, Uh-oh.
What is going on?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oregon Gunner just left. I don't know what happened, but let's hope he pops in back. Yes, I think Oregon is back now.
Yeah, sorry, I must have had a StreamYard shit on me for a second. No, if Goikarez was as bad as Florian Wirtz is currently, then yes, there is a discussion for that. But let's be honest, he scored like 3 or 4 goals Florian Wirtz has. So it's a different position, etc. But I do doubt I do disagree that Liverpool fans are going to be happy as long as they're winning and Goikarez, Wirtz is still shit. They want this guy to be successful, really, really bad, especially if he gets picked by slot over and over. But the thing is that it's just not gelling yet for Goikarez overall. Just to kind of sum that up, it's just not happening yet. But I have confidence that it will, and I have confidence that it'll be better. He's better placed as a striker than Havertz is. Remember, Havertz, again, we play someone like Port Vale, you want to rest Goikarez and put Havertz up there, I'm perfectly fine with that. I really am. But when a big game comes up, like Chelsea at the Bridge, or something like that, why would you make that switch from Goikarez to Havertz?
Let me put you in the game. Let me put you in the game. Oregon Gunner, let me put you in the game. In our upcoming matchup after the international break here, let's say we have Fulham or Burnley, any of those two.
Fulham. I think it's Fulham. Fulham away.
I think it's Fulham, yeah? Then
Fulham, Craven Cottage.
Then Gyökeres starts the matchup, and up until the 65th minute, it does nothing in the game, yeah? Kai Havertz has been thrown into the game, comes back after the international break, and he scores a brace. What would you do from then on in the next game?
Celebrate, have a beer, hug my wife, kiss my children.
In the next game, who are you gonna field in the next game? Okay, so the goals don't matter. I just want to get perspectives in this thing. I want to understand the bias. So what can Kai Havertz do right now to actually come back to the team? So even if he's scoring goals, you don't just want to see him there. I want to understand why.
You're asking these university college questions. Because when Goikarez gets the service, I see something there, and I agree. I think Assembled says it here. Too many, always says it. Too many touches the box. Fine, okay, fine. I agree with that as well. Too many touches. We're 7 games in. It took Kai Havertz 6 months to start scoring. 23, 24. It took 6 months. I'm sorry, 24, 25. Right? It took time for that to happen. But we know what Goikarez can do before we bought him. We knew what Kai Havertz could do before we bought him. And they are not the same. Right? So if Havertz comes on and scores 2 goals, everybody's happy, blah, blah, blah. Right? Fantastic. We get the 3 points on the day at Fulham, let's say. So the next game you benched Goikarez because he wasn't able to score in those 70 minutes? Because he's not getting the service that he deserves?
No, but it's because it's on a trail. It's about games like West Ham. It's about games like Newcastle. It's about games like Liverpool. Right. He is not scoring goals. So if Kai Havertz comes in and scores 2 goals when he comes back after the international break, I'm not advocating for him. I'm just asking a fair, objective question.
No, I get that.
I want to know if it's all about the goals or if it's all about, Kai Havertz is a donkey. He's not going to play. We don't want him to play. I mean, at this point now, and I really want to understand the dynamics of what Arsenal fans really want. Is it that Kai Havertz is just too much of a donkey and we don't just want to see him there. So even if he scores in that game against Fulham and Gyökeres doesn't find the back of the net, in the next game against Burnley, we should still field Gyökeres yet again.
Because I'm big on not killing confidence, and this is something Wenger did in his later years. It's something that Arteta has done and is currently doing with Nwaneri, which we talked about before, and that's a separate discussion, right? Yeah. If you pull Gyökeres because he's not scoring, and you put Havertz in, and let's say he makes it 2-0. Let's say he gets a penalty and puts one back in the 90th minute or whatever, right? Whatever way he scores, right? And the next game is Burnley. You would expect Gyökeres to be able to perform against Burnley. You expect everyone to perform against Burnley. Let's be real, right?
Yeah, sure.
But so you're willing to play Havertz because he scores 2 goals, but you're willing to pull Gyökeres because he hasn't gelled in the system. And be honest, it's a service issue as well. It's not like he's getting the ball and just totally fluffing his lines. That's not what's happening, right? He's not getting the ball in the channels that he's asking for it and running into. Right, we're playing it out wide, and then when that doesn't work, we play it back, and Gyökeres has to run around some more. Kai Havertz even have to run around some more as well. So it's really more of a tactical thing. But I get what you're saying. If you're scoring goals, you're in form, and you should start the next game. I totally understand that, but it'd be different if it wasn't someone who has a real history of scoring goals, who needs more confidence, who really should have taken the pen against West Ham, in all honesty. I think Saka made that decision because he had the armband on, but that's another discussion for another day. But what Gyökeres needs is the confidence, right? He needs to get the service and have the confidence. So, no, I would not. I would, if Kai Havertz scores 2 goals in the 75th minute to the 90th minute, then let's do the same thing at Burnley. Let Gyökeres run for 75 minutes, bring Havertz on to possibly be an impact player, which I don't really think he is, but he could be, right? I just don't think if you swap that, then I think you have a real confidence issue. And then if his confidence is gone, then it's really, really gone, right?
It's really, really gonna go.
Really hard to rebuild from that.
I agree with you. But
let's see what this week brings with the international break. I'm not sure if Havertz is in the German side or not, depending on his injury. I'm sure he is, maybe probably on the bench, but again, I'm not adverse to having Havertz and Gyökeres on the pitch at the same time in a 4-4-1-1 setup, with Havertz kind of filling that little gap, right behind Gyökeres, and hopefully get the ball, get the center back off, and play just a nice little 6-yard pass to Gyökeres to slot it in. I think, again, like we said before, when he comes back, it's a good problem to have, even though we don't really rate him. And I really don't want to kill Gyökeres' confidence. So, in my opinion, yes, you would still start Gyökeres against Burnley. If it doesn't work out, you bring Havertz on as the impact player.
Okay. Break. They have Manchester United. They have Brentford. Bro, the matches keep getting higher and higher. It's crazy. Arsenal have the likes of Fulham, another London derby. They have Burnley. We have all these, all those clown teams in the league. Bro, do you think Arsenal is just gonna, do you think we're just gonna go on a run? Do we go on a run from here right now? Is that what you see, Oregon?
Yeah, we got what?
Leave the bias about who wins the league. Forget about the bias about who wins the league. Do you think from here on, right now, do you think Arsenal goes on that long-awaited run where we don't lose or draw games, where we just win games up until the death of Christmas?
Oh man, that's a big ask for Christmas. But I haven't looked at the schedule, but I know we have some weaker teams in the run-in for the next few weeks. I think Fulham away can be tricky, right? I think that can be a draw, maybe not a loss, but a draw, right? Depending on how much Arteta wants us to attack. If he wants to play with the handbrake on, Fulham can get a draw. I don't think they're going to win because I think our defense is very, very good at this moment in time. But I agree with, like I always say, we need to go on the run now, right? We need those points now. create the gap now from first and second. And I think Liverpool are going to struggle against United. I think they're going to struggle against Brentford a bit away. I think they're playing them away, right? Because I see this Liverpool team really fragmented and not on the same page. Salah's not the player he was last season, or the season before, the season before that. Salah's having a stinker right about now, and that's great. That's great for us. But I still can't underestimate Liverpool as well. Like, they could do United 3-1 or something, or 2-0. I mean, they have the power to do that. I thought they were going to beat Chelsea. I thought they were going to pound Chelsea, actually. I think I predicted a 4-1.
Me too.
Because I thought that would be their comeback game, right? Like, Slot would have it figured out, and Wirtz may be doing something. I was really like, wow, they're going to really pound this Chelsea defense because their defense is horrible. Well, good thing I didn't bet on the game because I would have lost some money, right? So this Liverpool team, I'm not to say is in complete disarray right now, but they're scratching their heads figuring out when the next 3 points are going to come for sure. And we need to take advantage of that. So with that being said, bro, I think I've got to run here pretty soon. I've got a meeting coming up.
Definitely, yeah. I was just about to close up the show.
Today. Thank
See
you
people, I mean, Oregon Gunner, what do you have coming up? At least during the internationals, what do you have coming up? Talk
not
to the
much.
people about before you
Not
run
so
up.
football. I think England's playing Latvia of all places. I don't understand why Rice would be even considered for this. I was making a plea on Jez's show yesterday. Play the under 21s in these breaks. Like, give some of these kids a chance. Find some of these guys in the championship division. Play them. Why is Saka and Rice playing against fucking Latvia? It just runs the risk of injury even more. So other than that, not much going on. I think TJ's back in town this week and probably do an American Idiots show on Friday. But other than that, man, just kind of sitting back for the weekend.
Definitely. Oregon Gunner, it was an honor to be with you today. I'm back next week. We might even do 2 shows because it's a big, long stretch holiday, 1 week holiday for me because schools are closed. So no students, no teaching, nothing.
Nice.
Everything is there. So definitely we'll be doing some couple of shows together. And see, Oregon Gunner, thanks for today, man. And you can run off to your meeting right now, bro. People, please, Oregon Gunner has a channel. Go sub to his channel, people. From me and Oregon Gunner, we are out.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, people. Peace.